Welcome to the kitchen of chaos. So we are making the world's greatest potato salad, and I am not kidding. It is the world's greatest potato salad. I think you will agree. Everyone who has tasted this has said the exact same words without exception. We are starting with red potatoes. You can also use Yukon Gold potatoes for this, but you don't want to use russet, or you want to use something that has a really smooth texture and is kind of creamy and rich tasting. So basically just rinsing them off, washing them, and then you go through and clean out any of the major funk you find on them, cut off any of the cancerous lumps or any other untoward things, and I'm going to put them in a big pot, some salt, and onto the boil. That's the first thing you do when you're getting ready. Alright, so onto the boil. This is 10 pounds of potatoes. Most of the recipes that I've sort of borrowed from and combined, that's a lot of salt. You want to put salt in the water so that it gets in the potatoes. Most of the recipes have been 2 pounds, 5 pounds, 3 pounds. For a big group, you want to do at least, I don't know, depends on how big you're talking, but for 20, 30 people, you want to do, 8 pounds or so. You want to have a lot because people are going to want to eat this. It's not good leftover, really. No potato salad is. The potatoes get kind of strange if you refrigerate them. So make however much you need. So pretty much, I'll give you the ratios a little bit later. But this is just getting on the boil. 10 pounds of red potatoes for a large group. Okie doke. While the potatoes are cooking, you can get the other ingredients ready, which are about 5 or 6 stalks of celery, rather. Rinsed and cut off the ends. A bunch of dill. Use a bunch. That's what makes this really good, is the dill and the lemon, and a red onion, big red onion, or a couple if you really like red onions. So we're going to just chop those up. You want the onion to be pretty finely diced, not necessarily minced, but you want pieces, but you don't want big pieces. Red onions can be kind of powerful. So just like a nice small dice is fine. Same thing with the celery, however you like to do your celery. For the onions, you can do the traditional halfway, cut them this way into 3 or 4 little slices, and then slice not all the way through to the back so it holds itself together. 1/8 inch or 1/4 inch slices vertically. This out of the way. And then go this way. I'm sure you're all probably aware of this method, but that makes a nice little relatively even dice. So continue as in that manner. Hiding? I can hear you. So this is red onion and celery. Celery, you want to just split it down the middle once or twice, depending on how big the ribs are, and then just 1/4 inch dice. And then for the dill, you don't want to put in the big stalks, so you can kind of line them up all the same way if you have them that way. It doesn't matter if a little bit of the stalks get in because they're edible, and it kind of adds to the crunch. So go through, if it's organic like these are, go through and either way, if it's not organic, you want to do it anyway, but go through and make sure you pick out any bugs and brown spots and whatever else in these herbs, and then kind of just bunch them close with your fingers and then chop it. Okay. Alrighty, so that's what about 4 packages of the store-bought dill looks like. You want to err on the side of too much dill, because that's really what makes this recipe. You want that dill mixed with the lemon and the creaminess of the mayonnaise and sour cream, and just really brightens it up, and it's really, really a good flavor to go with these potatoes. So if you don't have fresh dill, don't even bother. Don't try to use dried dill. It will not taste the same. So make this when you have fresh dill available. Okay, for the creamy base, you want about a cup of mayonnaise or sour cream, or mixed, for each 3 pounds of potatoes. So we've got about 10 pounds of potatoes, so I'm going to do 2 cups of mayonnaise, which looks like a lot, but that's like a million servings. About 2 cups. That looks good. I'm sure that seems very healthy. And a cup of sour cream. So that'll be 3 cups. So it'll be like if you were making it for 9 pounds. So a little bit less fat is not going to kill anybody. It's the first time you'll ever hear me say that, and the last time. So about 1 cup of sour cream. I find that mixing sour cream and mayonnaise together kind of cuts the fatness of it all, and then that sour cream gives it kind of a little bright flavored tang. A bunch of black pepper, freshly cracked. It's annoying for you to hear that. And fresh lemon juice if you have it. If you don't, use this stuff is good. I'm just going to give a couple of good squirts. That's probably 1/4 of a cup, I would imagine. And then we're going to put about 2 teaspoons of salt or so. And a little bit of apple cider vinegar or white vinegar, and we'll just taste it. And then some Dijon mustard or regular mustard. I like Dijon. I don't like the way the regular mustard makes everything look kind of sickly yellow and old. So if you have Dijon, use it. If you don't have Dijon, then use the yellow mustard. If you like the yellow kind, go ahead. Alright, so we're going to mix that up together, and we'll adjust for salt. And you want it to be kind of salty and quite a bit tangy with the lemon and the vinegar, so because that flavors all of the potatoes. Okay, the potatoes are boiling, so set your timer for 24 minutes or so. And take them off the heat and drain them after 24 or 25 minutes. And then put them back in the same pot. With the lid off, and that kind of helps them dry out or whatever. Alright, so this is what it's going to look like after you've put in the, I don't know, 3 or 4 tablespoons of vinegar, about the same of lemon juice, maybe a little bit more lemon juice, salt and pepper, and mayonnaise and sour cream. And it's kind of, it looks a little bit runny, but once you put the potatoes in, and it'll sort of absorb all that liquid. So this by itself is actually really good. It's a great little dip or whatever. These potatoes have been going for 25 minutes, so I'm going to take them off, drain them, and then let them sit off the heat until they cool down a little bit, and you can cut them up.